Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Silver Wolves. Okay, in a recent video, as many of you know, Dave Canterbury was talking about the quick deploy Ridgeline, and he gave me a little bit of credit and a shout out because of a trick I adapted of putting a toggle onto the Ridgeline. So I'd like to give you a little background and why that came about because of Silver Wolves. My good friend Dan Lutz, as many of you follow my channel know, me and him were very close friends, and he had broken his back in an accident and had spent over a year in a chest brace, and because of that he had real difficulty looking up. He couldn't get his head to lean back and look up. Well, Dan was like 6'8", and so whenever he's putting up a Ridgeline, that sucker's up there, to get headroom for him to come through. The problem he was having was he'd get up over his head and he'd tie the knots. Just like now you can't see my hands. And he couldn't see his hands. And so when he went to take the thing down, he'd be trying to feel up there and figure out how to untie it, and he couldn't, just see to unhook it. And so I started trying to find a way that he didn't have to tie knots. There'd be some way he could come up with a Ridgeline that would allow him to do this and not have to have that problem. And there's many of you out there in the Silver Wolves that are the same way, either from the fact that C-spine or whatever, and it's just hard to look up. And so you want something you can do by feel more than anything else. And I understand that. And so after Dave had mentioned me in that video and everything, I went back and dug out that original quick deploy Ridgeline that I have now. Forgive me, it's in pink. This is the one I used whenever I was doing displays, going up and showing a crowd, for my teaching. And so I wanted it in some bright color that the people in the back could see what was going on. So I used bright neon pink. And I've got little toggles on it. Now these toggles are buttons. I got them from Walmart or one of the fabric stores. And these go onto a coat in the winter. This is a heavy winter coat toggle button. Usually it's a piece of leather or something comes through it. And it's perfect size for paracord to go right through the middle of it. I think there were like 4 of them or something like that on a card for 99 cents. And so I got several of them. Now, on this quick deploy Ridgeline, we have a bow line that was big enough for the whole cord to go through. We have the first toggle, and this allows you to hook it to the tree. We're going to demonstrate this in a minute. Then we have 2 Prusik knots with Bushcraft twist ties, which is the improved soft shackle for attaching a tarp. We're going to show that. And then there is a 3rd loop right here. And I got a 4th, but I'll explain that in a minute as to why there's a 4th on there. Okay? So let me set this up. I want you to see how it goes together. Okay? And this may be something that you would like to do for your set. Okay? Okay, we will begin by attaching to the tree. Now what you're going to want to do is scoot down all of these Prusiks and toggles and stuff until you got enough room to go around the tree. Okay, and you want to take that first toggle, so you, let me have a little slack there and stick it in my pocket so I don't drop it. You want to come around the tree like this, and then you take that toggle and you stick one end in, and then you lift up and go the other end in, just like that, and you pull, and that locks in. It's a Marline spike hitch is what it is, but the wooden toggle is attached to the line. So all you got to do is put it through the loop. Now when it's time to take it off, all you got to do is take it and twist it till it points toward the tree and put one in between the 2 halves. So you point just like that and pull the cord off, and it will basically unbutton. Okay? So once again, I come up, I put it through, then I lift it up and go over the top, and then I pull it down and it locks onto the tree. That's how you hook up this end. Okay? Now let's go and we'll hook up the far end. And that's kind of where the special stuff is. Okay, I've got down to this end. I've just simply wrapped the cord around the tree for a second. Now, usually I would do a trucker's hitch where I turn and run up a loop and pull the loop, take the excess, go through it, go through twice and pull, and that secures and locks it down. But the problem with that is my friend could not see over his head to see untie it easy. Okay. So I came up with an idea of using a toggle, and I came up with the idea of using another prusik. We've got two prusiks down there we're going to demonstrate in a minute for how to hook on your tarp. And this is just simply a prusik sitting up here that I can use to anchor to the line. So I'm going to pull it about where you tie your knot, and I'm going to take my cord, give me a little bit more slack, okay, so I pull my cord snug, and I pull down here and I got my prusik. What I'm going to do is just double a piece and go through that loop and then pull. And that will pull it up tight because that loop is acting as a trucker's hitch. My prusik right here is biting the line. So I pull it up where it's tight, and then I just put a slippery half hitch over the top, just like that, to keep it from slipping. That makes a nice tight line, and this prusik knot is holding the tension to hold the line. Okay, and then the only thing there is it's just a loop of bank line with the paracord going through it. Standard stuff. The possible problem, and this will vary, is how toothy is your paracord. Toothy is how aggressive, how rough is this outer sheath of your paracord. If it's kind of the rough stuff like the military grade stuff, you can actually throw this other another line and use it like a saw and cut things with it because it is so aggressive, and it will eventually wear a hole and tear up that bank line. It'll cut that bank line, not easily, but it will eventually, reusing it over and over and over again. And so another way I thought of doing it was this. Let me pull this knot out. Okay, so when I come down here to the tree, I come down, I've got my toggle on there. This is the second toggle. The first one's up there on the end for the bowline to hold it in place. The second one, I come down and I bring that prusik knot. I take the toggle and I go around the tree. Pull it kind of snug. Now I lift up that prusik and I anchor it. See, I double the line around it. I just anchor it through there like that and pull. And this will cinch down and lock down really, really tight because that is acting like a cinch knot now. So this doubled over toggle, the cord doubled over to it, is what pulls. Now let me get you a close-up of that so you can see what's actually happening. Okay, I come around the tree. Here's my toggle. Okay. I want to take and double the cord in half so it sticks out like that, right? Now I take my prusik loop right here, and I want to get it close enough to do it. I'm going to double that cord in half like that, pinch it with my fingers, and I'm going to put the two halves of that toggle in just like that. Okay, so that the toggle's on top. Now when I pull it like this, it's going to act just like a windlass and pull down blood tight, just like that. It can't slip because this cord is pinching the paracord. It's acting like a choke noose and holding it tight. To get it out, all you got to do is twist it, boom, and it will pop right off the tree. So you can do that over your head without even seeing, see? And it's not quite as abrasive on this as pulling this cord on it. And the toggle works with the bank line loop. But that's the only thing, is that bank line loop can wear out depending on how toothy your paracord is. It's just how much it grips it and bites it, you know. Will it fail in one? No. I think Dan got, I don't know, 5 or 6 camp outs out of it before it finally started fraying. He could tell it needed to be replaced. So I came up with another replacement to fix the problem. And what I came up with is a product that's available off of Amazon and most of your hardware stores and stuff like that. And it's made by a company called Nite Ize, and it's a 9, a figure 9, I think they call it. Let me get it up here close and I can show you. Let me take my Prusik. I got it on a Prusik knot, and then I got it up on my line already. Okay, it's one of these. Okay, you see it's got a big eye loop. That's what your Prusik's going to hook to. How do you hook it to the Prusik? Well, as you know, all a Prusik is just a loop. That's all. It's just where I take a piece of cord and I tie the ends together to make a loop. Okay, I double it half of that knot to the top. I'm going to go around, if it's a longer piece, I'm going to go around the line 3 times, passing it through the loop, Prusik knot, and if I've got enough on here, then I attach it. If not, I'll attach it to this first and then run through the whole thing, which is what I just did. Okay, so you take that eye up there and you take your loop that's going to be your Prusik. You're going to come through, you're going to open it up, and you're going to pass the whole thing back through it like that. So when you pull it, it will slide down here and make what's called a lark's head. Okay, you have the hook, and then you got this sharp V. You hook the line up on here and you pull it tight. Once you get it tight, then you roll it around this and let the line go up into that V, and that's what pinches it. And then you just put a slippery half hitch after it. So let me put it on the line and I will show you how that works. Go through 1, 2, 3 times. I'm holding the knot. Now I wiggle and start rolling it down and dressing it down until finally it slides down. Now I can slide it to where I want, but it will bite, see, when I pull tension on it. That allows me to move it to wherever I need to be and pull tension on it, just like that toggle. Now what I do to lock it is I take my cord, I go through that hook I just showed you, I pull it tight, just like this, and it will pull up just as tight as a trucker's hitch. When I get it there, I'm just going to pinch it, come around through that deep V and pull it, and it locks just like a trucker's hitch. But I'm going to put a slippery half notch right after it just to hold it in place. Now I got a nice tight ridge line, and nothing is going to wear easy. This doesn't wear my paracord that fast, and this doesn't wear the bank line that fast, and so therefore this will last a long time like this, and you'll get quite a bit of work out of it before it starts giving up. So it works real easy. All right, let me bring you in close and let you see how it works. And let me show this up close. This is that Nite Ize Crazy 9 or whatever they call it. Okay, see, all it is being looped into this Prusik, just like that. It's just looped up and over, just like this. So there is just a plain Prusik. You take the eye, you put the Prusik through it, pull it up high, open it up, and put the Nite Ize through it, just like that. So it makes a lark head right there. Now I pull this to where I want it to bite down. I pull it, and then you've got the hook and the V. Hook, I'm going to lay the line in that hook. I'm going to pull it and let it bite and pull it down tight. When I get it to where I want, all I got to do is pinch it, and see that V right there? Bring it up and take it through that V and pull it tight, and then just half hitch. That's it. That's going to hold. So that Prusik knot holding that Nite Ize and then that hook to it. You don't have to see this. All you got to do is reach up and pull that, and then all you got to do is just pull the cord out of that V and it just slips. So once again, I by feel can feel that hook. I hook the line into it, pull it tight. When I get it tight, I pinch and I come up and go through that V, pull it snug, it really holds, and then I'm on just a slippery half hitch after it. That's it. No knots you can't see over your head. To get it out, all you gotta do is pull it out of that V and let go, and it falls off the tree. So, the Silver Wolves Quick Deploy Ridgeline version that I was playing around with for Dan Lutz. It was a way of being able to hook that ridgeline over your head when you ain't able to see. You can't lift up. Or maybe you guys are like me and have to wear glasses, and I'm farsighted. And so once you get about arm's length in, I can't see it unless I'm wearing my glasses. So Blackie's using the force. A lot of times when you see me tying knots and everything over my head, I'm using the force because I can't really see it. It's a blur up there that close to me. If it's within like 24 inches of my face, if I'm not wearing glasses, forget it. And so, like many of you, something like this can be very quick and handy because, especially with arthritic hands that don't want to work, you know, and I can't get those intricate knots and stuff to work. Something like this may be the way you want to go because it's just a ridge line with a toggle on that end. Again, one of those buttons work, or you can just simply get you a stick and drill a hole in it yourself and put it on, or find some other device, or just use a Marline spike hitch on that end. Okay? On this end, you come down here and you can either use the toggle, come down and wrap around it and through a loop and pull it tight. You can use the bank line Prusik, put the cord through it and pull it tight. Or you can put one of these Nite Ize on the line and pull it tight. Any of those work. Now let me show you how the Bushcraft twist ties attach the tarp to this. Okay, those are the other two Prusik knots I got hanging up here on the line. Okay, what this is a Prusik knot, and this is a Bushcraft twist tie that I've generated. All it is a soft shackle that I've twisted up. And I believe I already have a video on how to make one of these, and if so, I'll post it right up here. But all I'm going to do is I'm going to take the grommet of my tarp and I'm going to spread the material apart, push that knot through. Then I'm going to take the loop, go through the grommet, again spread out that loop, stick the head of that knot through there, and then give that line a little twist with my fingers. It will close back up around it, and I'll show you this up close in a second. Now that's solid. Now I can push this one to the other end, and I'll take this one. Not quite enough. There we go. Now I'll take this one. Again, I will untwist it, push it through, take the loop, put it through, come back over, open it up, and stick it in there. And then once it's in there, kind of give it a little bit of a twist, and it will wrap around and lock in place, so it won't come off by itself. Now when I pull against them, going opposite directions, that'll make my tarp nice and tight, and they're torqued onto the ridge line, see? And I can adjust it just by sliding them. So I pull it tight to put tension on it, but if I need to like shift my whole tarp that way because rain's starting to come from that way, I can just slide my Prusiks down and tighten it up the other way. To get it off, all I've got to do is lift it up on that, grab the cord underneath the knot, pull it apart, pull out the knot, and drop it off. Now let me show you that up close. Here is the Bushcraft twist tie. I've just got it hooked with a lark's head onto my Prusik knot. Okay? And as you can see, it's kind of twisted up. It acts like a bungee cord. And for you old military types, remember when we used to have those green little bungees that you put on the inside of your pants, had the little hook to blouse? They were blousers for blousing the bottom of your pants. Well, the same idea, except it's just paracord that's been twisted up, folded in half, allowed it to twist over each other, and then we make a great big knot, okay? So what we do to open it is we grab the loop and we twist it to open up the loop. See how it twists closed, twist open, and we push that knot out. When I let go of it, it closes right back up. Now let me grab my tarp. Alright, now I take that open end, I go through the grommet hole, just like that. I pull that knot over the top. Now I open up that loop. See where it closed itself up? I open it up, give her a little twist there, open it up, and I push that knot through that opening. Just like that, and it kind of pop around. After I let go, see how it wants to twist closed? Now it can't. The tighter you pull it, the tighter it tries to twist and close up. So it won't come out of that. That knot won't pop off no matter what. Now when I pull it tight, it holds the load, and that tarp can be easily taken on or taken off simply by feel. I do not have to tie any knots. So that is the Quick Deploy Ridgeline Silver Wolf Edition. That it's taking the standard Quick Deploy Ridgeline we've been using, where we'll tie that in with a bowline so I can use a marline spike hitch, or I can tie a timber hitch, or I can put some sort of toggle onto it to hook it to the tree. On this end I come over here and I can either tie it as a trucker's hitch to pull it tight, or I can put a toggle on there and a loop Prusik knot of heavy bank line and use that as a winch system to pull it tight, or I can put that Nite Ize quick connector on there and pull it tight. Any of the above works. And then my two sliders in the middle to hook the tarp are simply two Prusik knots with two Bushcraft twist ties on there to make it a very quick and easily way that I can hook a tarp on. This can all be done in the dark by feel, because all you know with those is you just twist them and pull the head out, take the tarp off, put them back over, they're good. This end down here with this Nite Ize, I reach up there and feel it, pull the slippery half hitch out, unwind it and unhook it, it falls off. That end, I go up to that toggle, twist the toggle, and it falls off. Or I pull the marline spike hitch out, or I pull whatever. And I can get off the tree quick and easy. So even though I can't supposedly see over my head, maybe I can't feel my hands very well anymore, I would have a better chance of putting this tarp up and down because of that. So for this episode of the Silver Wolves, we shall call it the Silver Wolves Quick Deploy Ridgeline Edition. Hope you've enjoyed this content, guys. If you have, please hit that like, share, and subscribe button before you go to help feed the algorithm. I really appreciate it. Till next time, guys, I'm Blackie wishing you safe journeys. Have a great day, guys.